Family, this is a follow-up story of the situation in Mali. It is safe right now to say that it is time we need to protest so that this chairman here leave Africa. We need to protest. I mean, there should be all nationwide protests from Africans at home and abroad. If you agree with that, it will depend on how far this video can go. If you can give me a like, each and everybody can just hit the like button. We can have this video gone far and we can stage a complete protest. We have to go to their embassies and go to the necessary authorities in every African country that their leader have been shaking hands with this chairman. It is time for this chairman to leave the continent. Honestly speaking, if you come across this video on Facebook, tag Dushomaponga, the great Dushomaponga for me. Just tag him in the comment section. They should set a date. Let's protest. If that doesn't happen, me myself, I'll set the date and we will protest. Chairman need to leave. I'm speaking in respect of the fact that ECOWAS is making the right call. Of the fact that the statement that the AES themselves released, which I'm going to read, not the statement that the Malian army released, which I'm going to read, concerning the rumors circulating about the death of General Sadio, Kamara. Not that one, but the AES themselves proved that the weapons used by the stateless people together with the Tuareg group, the nature of the weapons revealed that it is not just only the Tuareg group together with the T group that wake up and say, today we are taking Mali, and then they came in with a visit and tried to do whatever they are going to do. No, something super was behind. And that is why I said this chairman need to leave the continent. Macron need to famous. Simple and short. That need to happen. Now, the Malian Armed Forces released two statements. And France 24, somehow, for whatsoever reason, I don't know, every statement released by the Malian Armed Forces were countered by France 24. Once they release the statement, they counter it. The first statement released after the one I read to you in the previous video. After that, they released two statements. The first statement was about how the chase was continuing. France 24 went about telling everybody that the army ran away from the scene and left the total control of the town in the hands of the stateless people together with the Tuareg. The second statement was about the death of this man, General Sadio Kamara, the Minister of Defense. The twist how this man died on France 24, it was completely twisted. So stay with me, let's go round into it. This man is the second in command when you look at it. This general was a key figure in the revolution that brought Assimi Goïta on board, and many people, regard him so powerfully. The man died in a way that he was one-man army. Before I read the statement, let me explain how this man died. These guys, those guys that I don't want to use certain words so that we don't trigger a lot of things. I said it in the previous video. These days, they don't want us to, talk about certain things. So these guys that have been wearing bag, and the bag, and you can just be here and then you hear boom, good. These guys somehow, anyhow, enter a car with the vest, drove straight to his house, and then detonate and boom. So when the thing happened, he was injured, and some mosque also around where people were praying, there was a partial collapse of his residence, and then the mosque also was affected, and those people also, some people died. So in the previous video, I explained to you that there's 16 people have been injured. He was part of it, taken to hospital before he gave up. But when the whole thing happened, although injured, although this man in pain because of the blast, chairman was able to defend himself until rescue team came on board. He took many of the T group out. He did not give up on the scene. He did not give up on the scene of the blast, no. But he took many of them out until the rescue team came in, and the rest of them began to run. And they took him to hospital, and they were, some team were chasing after the people who were running away. And those were some of the people that some of the citizens hung on their car and they were dragging on the ground. Some of them were dragging them up and down and all that. So he was taken to hospital, and from hospital, somehow anyhow, he was not able to survive it. So he gave up. France 24 said that the man was not wounded, as the army is claiming. He was not wounded. He died on the spot immediately. So you see the reason why I say this chairman, they were so close, encountering everything that the army put on board. But some of us, we have people in Mali. When you look at the report of these media houses, you know where the whole thing is coming from. I will not speak too much about it. So that was how we lost this great man. He fought bravely, but at the end of the day, he was not able to survive the injury caused by the blast. And this is the statement that the Malian forces released regarding his death. This statement was released on 26. The transitional government of Mali deeply regret to inform the public of the tragic death of Lieutenant General Sadio Kamara, Minister of State and Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs. Following the cowardly terrorist incident that occurred on the morning of April 25, 2026, a car bomb driver by a suicide bomber targeted the minister's residence. He engaged in exchange of fire with these guys, and some of whom he managed to neutralize during intense clashes. He was wounded and then transported to the hospital, where he unfortunately succumbed to his injury. Furthermore, the collapse of his residence caused other casualties and the destruction of nearby mosque, resulting in the death of some worshippers inside. Consequently, by decision of His Excellency Assimi Goita, President of Transition, Head of State, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the late General of the Army Corps, Sadio Kamara, Minister of State, Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, will be granted national honor, which will be subject of a separate communique. They will communicate that separately to us, how he will be given a state burial, I believe so. Now, ECOWAS made the right call this time. ECOWAS and African Union both released a statement, but ECOWAS statement made the right call. They did the right thing. For the first time, the Economic Community of West Africa State, ECOWAS, strongly condemned this incident that occurred on Saturday, 25th April 2026. In several localities in the Republic of Mali. This heinous act demonstrates once again the barbaric nature of the perpetrators, who continue to threaten peace, security, and stability in the West Africa sub-region as a whole. ECOWAS calls on all state security forces, regional mechanism, and population of West Africa to unite and mobilize in a coordinated effort to combat this. ECOWAS extend its heartfelt condolences to the families of the victim and express its full solidarity with the people and authority of the Republic of Mali. If ECOWAS is telling us, the ECOWAS said not only the regional mechanism, but the population of West Africa also. So we should unite and mobilize, right? We are going to do our part by protesting that Macron should vamoose off the continent of Africa. Simple. France need to vamoose. It is time. Because the AES, the Sahel leaders that you claim you are supporting right now, and you are calling that we should mobilize and all the forces should move towards Mali to make sure that they cure that threat out of the region. They are saying it every time in their statement that Macron, his handwriting is all over the wall. They have been saying it. He has been writing all over the wall. When you go to BBC, France 24, when they reported this, people are putting his name there. Why? We are not blind on the continent. So if you release this statement, no problem. It is a good call. Every African leader in ECOWAS and African Union that have been shaking hands with this man, it is time for this man to vamoose together with they need to vamoose of the continent. Not only they need to vamoose, but their media houses also must follow them together with the propaganda. African Union also released a statement. According to African Union, this is what they said. The president of the African Union Commission is following with great concern the reported attack in Mali, targeting the capital, Bamako, and other urban centers across the country. The president of the commission strongly condemned this act, which risks exposing civilian population to significant danger, and reaffirmed the commission's constant commitment to promoting peace, security, good governance, and stability in Mali. Look, you express solidarity and a whole lot. If you are committed to peace, why are you not making the same call that ECOWAS made? That all the forces, where is your standby force? Let's send a standby force there. If truly you are committed to peace, you cannot just release a statement that says we condemn, and then that's all without any action. That is not what we need. Now, the Malian army released this statement before confirming the death of the leader. This was a message that was released, and France 24 tended to tell everybody that the army ran away from the scene and they leave the control of the town totally in the hands of this T group, meaning that they give up on the land. But this is the statement they released. They released the statement immediately, and then France 24 published that. The General Staff of the Armed Forces informed the public that the hunt of this group continue in Kidal, Kati, and other locations in the country. The attacks of Saturday, April 25th, 2026, orchestrated with the sinister aim of disrupting our defense system and sowing fear and chaos, will not go unanswered. The General Staff of the Armed Forces report that alert level have been raised throughout the country. Curfew have been imposed, large-scale patrol have been intensified, and checkpoints have been reinforced to ensure increased vigilance against the threat. The General Staff of the Armed Forces reassured the public that the Malian forces remain committed and determined to defend the integrity of the territory and guarantee national security. The General Staff of the Armed Forces congratulated the Defense and Security Forces for their responsiveness in fighting spirit and urged them to remain vigilant. Does this look like people who run away? If you have somebody in Mali, contact them and hear what is going on the ground. These places that these guys, pay visit to, which are the 5 places, Kati and Co, including Bamako, they run. Some of them are on the hill. They went back to the forest and then they are chasing after them, making sure that nobody is out. Now, the AES says something in their statement. I'm not going to read the entire statement. That is from Burkina Faso. The leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, is the leader, the current president. They released a statement and then put some detail there to give us a clue. The Confederation of Sahel State, in its ongoing struggle for sovereignty, was the target of this group on the morning of 25th April 2026, targeting several sites on Malian soil. The coordination of the attack, the target, the personnel involved, as well as the logistics and weapons used, clearly demonstrate that these were long-planned and coordinated actions aimed at inflicting heavy losses on the defense and security forces and sowing terror among the innocent civilian population of the Confederation of Sahel State, in particular Mali. The logistics, the way they came prepared, is not something that the two of them came together and said, let's do it. No, this was bigger. Something bigger is behind them. Chairman need to leave our continent. Something bigger is behind them. Some external vibe is behind them. Because, these guys, they were fighting. They have a fight. The Tuareg and the group that they connive with, they are not in agreement. They have been fighting. They are not in agreement. But all of a sudden, they put away their fight and then came together to champion a particular agenda. You see, this is what Africans need to do. That's why I'm standing with the call of ECOWAS that, look, it is time we stand for the continent. This thing going on, if you don't take time, they'll be taking the countries one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. It will turn to your country tomorrow. This is the reason why I'm calling that we need to protest across the entire continent, asking our leaders to stop shaking hands with these people, be it Ghanaian leader or whoever. Those Tinubu who have been going there. You cannot be out there and then you are trying to, disturb the peace of our continent, and then our leaders will be dealing with you. If ECOWAS, you release a statement saying that you are committed to peace, African Union, you say you are committed to peace, but all the leaders in ECOWAS and African Union, you have been going to France, shaking hands with Macron, and the people you are showing solidarity with, they are telling you that Macron, his handwriting is all over. But anyway, family, the situation is in the hand of the army. The army did not give up, as these guys were saying that they took to their heels. I show you videos how people were dragged on the ground. I watched some of the videos. They tied one guy particular on the car, and it was a victory for the army. But in every battle, there are losses. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and be part of this awesome family. See you in the next episode. Respect.